Titus Blackplume is probably one of the most frustrating champions in the entire game, but at the same time also one of the best things that ever happened to us for Hydra. Because unlike Trunda, Titus makes it way easier to get strong Hydra numbers without needing absolute top-end gear, insane setups, or the kind of account that looks like it owes player money. If you're pushing the absolute ceiling, perfect teams, perfect resets, and those ridiculous leaderboard scores, Trunda is still the queen. But for everyone below the top 1%, Titus changed everything. He gives you access to crazy results without requiring the same level of account investment, and that's why he's so valuable for most people. But that's also where the love-hate relationship begins. Because Titus isn't just damage. He's RNG, he's resets, he's head targeting, he's watching a run go perfectly for 40 minutes just for 1 3% proc or to get the Hydra mark on him. Some runs he carries your entire Hydra clash score, and sometimes he decides that today is not your day. But somehow we keep clicking restart again and again and again, because once you realize how good your Titus run can do, you're trapped. But today we're talking about how to actually min-max your Titus build to get the maximum result out of him. I've been pushing myself to get the maximum out of my Titus team, and last week I did my new personal best, which is 47 billion damage, which is not my max, as I still had like 250 turns left. So I guess my estimated maximum amount of damage that I could do would be around 60 billion. And there are a few tips and tricks that everyone can take advantage of. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out to run a Titus team or if you are an endgame player. You definitely want to know these things. The most important part about Titus is this skill right here. This says this attack is always critical if this champion is under a shield buff. This attack also gains a damage boost equal to the percentage difference between this champion's max HP and the value of any shield buffs on them. That means the higher the difference between your Titus HP and your shield is, the more damage you will do. So my Titus has 39k HP at the moment, which was not really the HP level that I had when I did my run. As we already said, we want to keep the HP as low as possible, and that means reduce all the HP that we get from all these areas, okay? So one thing you can do straight away when you build your Titus, if you have a faction guardian in here, just remove him, okay? This is 10% less HP. It doesn't matter how much or how many stats you get here from the other faction guardians, you will get a damage boost. 10% HP are around 1.8k HP for Titus. As you can see, now we are at 37,000. So just by removing those faction guardians, that got me like a 1.5% damage boost, okay? Now there are a few other things that you can try to min-max here, which is the HP from Classic Arena. If you drop down tiers, you will get less HP from the Arena, which is, in my opinion, not really worth to do unless you're trying to hit a world record. I wouldn't do that really, but if you're trying to maximize your score, you can definitely lower the HP by dropping down in tiers in Classic Arena, okay? Now we also get extra HP from affinity bonuses, but I wouldn't mind them because we have so many other champions that are benefiting from this extra HP that it's not worth it to sacrifice that and not upgrade your affinity bonuses just because of Titus. But the most important part, and where we probably have the most control, are the artifacts. I have plus 2000 HP from my artifacts, okay? And as you can see, my helmet on my Titus is unrolled, okay? A 5-star helmet, unrolled. And the reason for that is that this will maximize my damage because I'm lowering the HP. If I would rank this up, it doesn't matter what I would roll here. Even if I rolled crit damage 4 times, it wouldn't be worth it because I would get a lot of HP from this helmet 3000 extra HP, and that would be a huge damage loss. It doesn't matter what I roll here on the substats, it will be a negative effect. That's why you want to keep a 5-star unrolled helmet. That is the best case scenario, the best in slot artifact. Obviously here, instead of attack percentage, something like speed or resistance would be much more ideal. Also, the crit rate doesn't really do anything for me. Before I used this 5-star helmet, I used a 6-star rolled helmet, a maxed helmet, and the damage output after I swapped them out was quite significant. Now, it doesn't matter if you're using Merciless, Savage, or any other set. Whatever you're using, try to use an unrolled helmet. Now, I know that a lot of people can't clear Cursed City completely, but a 5-star helmet is not that hard to get. You can even get it from the normal difficulty, right? Even if you get a 5-star epic helmet, that would still be a good choice, as long as you don't have any HP percentage substat on it. But like I said, if you're using Savage, that works as well. Or in this scenario where you use Merciless and Zeal, you can also use a Zeal helmet, right? A 5-star Zeal helmet. I don't know if I have one. I have one, but it's already rolled and therefore not a good option for me, okay? So definitely keep that in mind if you have Titus, if you have a Titus team and you want to maximize your damage and you get a 5-star helmet with crit damage, defense percentage, and no HP percentage, definitely leave it unrolled because it will benefit your damage much more than if you would roll it, okay? The next thing is don't glyph your HP substats, okay? I did this because I used this ring on another champion before I had Titus, and that is kind of like my best ring, my best option. But if I could turn back the time, I would not glyph this HP, okay? So if you have an HP substat, just leave it unglyphed. Also avoid any pieces with HP percentage because actually Titus has a relatively high base HP. One more thing that could possibly go wrong when you build your Titus is something like this, okay? Let's pretend this is a Merciless ring, okay? This is a defense ring with defense percentage on it. We have flat attack and attack percentage. If I now roll this up to 12, I get another roll here. Now let's take it to 15. And this is where you should stop. The reason why is if you upgrade this now one more time, the last slot here will either give you flat HP or HP percentage. And doesn't matter what you get there, it will be a damage downgrade. So it is not worth to take it to 16. If you have an epic ring with no HP on it, you should basically just leave it at 15. That is better for your Titus than maxing it and then get HP on the substats. And by the way, just so you know, for every 5000 HP on your Titus, you will have a 10% damage loss. That means 1% less damage for every 500 HP. And this is according to the guys that are hunting the world records. So shout out to the RSL leaderboard guys. You are amazing. All right. So another thing that a lot of people are regretting are the area bonuses. Okay. If you plan on upgrading your area bonuses, don't upgrade the HP for Hydra battles. I think a lot of people would love to undo it, which is not possible. And you can get a 20% HP bonus here on the area bonuses, which is a lot of damage. That's like a 6 to 7% damage loss just because you upgraded your area bonuses. And as you can see, I did mine too. Once there's a 2% HP, it's still affecting my Titus, but not as drastically. So it's still okay. But if I had the choice and if I had the option, I would still undo it. And you will notice the need to lower your HP once you assert your blessing, okay? I went from a 1-star to a 6-star blessing, and once I put the 6-star blessing on, I got these 8.5k extra HP, and I was close to 50k HP. So I said to myself, okay, now it's time to actually, put some work in and lower his HP and rework his build, and it paid off. So if you have a 1-star blessing, it is not worth it to choose the blessing. You can put the soul on him, but don't choose the blessing, so the stats, the extra stats are not active, but his higher souls are still appearing in the soul merchant. Where it gets interesting for you to choose the blessing is at 4-star, because that's where we get the extra crit damage, okay? And from there, you know, you will benefit from it and get more damage. So yeah, guys, I think this is pretty much everything that I know about it. When you start building your Titus, definitely remove the faction guardians, so you make sure your resistance is on point, your speed is on point, and everything else. And you lower the damage. Try to use an unleveled 5-star helmet, which has the lowest amount of HP. I mean, if you don't have one, an unleveled 6-star helmet works as well. Anything that reduces your HP and has fitting stats. No HP substats. Don't max your epic ring or epic gear in general if you have a potential HP stat. Obviously, if you don't have another option, it is what it is. Like me right here, this is the only ring that I have that makes sense for my Titus. And yeah, just try to keep the HP as low as possible. As you can see, I can still reduce the HP by a good amount, but I think even with the area bonuses, I'm at an HP level that I'm okay with. I think ideally I would try to get another 1000 HP down. So yeah, I think 37, 38k HP is a good level that you could aim for. But like I said, it doesn't matter what team you are using. If you are end game, early game, mid game, whatever, you can apply these tips and tricks to boost your damage in Hydra and make your life easier. Do more clash for your clan. Everybody benefits from it, and these are easy and simple tricks that you can use. Let me know in the comments below if this helped you, or if you know any other tips and tricks on how to adjust his build to get his damage up. But I think I've pretty much covered everything. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. If you like this video, YouTube's gonna think that you like this one as well. Take care and see you in the next one.